Now vote for approval of H.R. 8791, the Homeland Terrorism Preparedness Bill. Said bill requests emergency response funding up to and including, this section is classified, dollars to prepare for a national level terrorist attack and or attack from classified. Funding for first responder personnel and vehicles would be doubled if said attack leads to more than 80% of national population being affected by classified. This funding shall commence in conjunction with the first attack on classified or the first large-scale outbreak of classified, dependent upon which comes first. Civilian and military units shall be trained in containment and combat of classified, including irradiated classified with possibility of classified airborne, classified flesh-eating, classified, and or all of the above in such event as classified spewing, classified escape are released or otherwise become uncontrollable. Air Force units may also be directed to combat said classified due to their enormous size and otherworldly strengths. Should event occur in urban areas, that's classified, far surpassing our darkest nightmares. Should casualties exceed classified body disposal actions, shall be halted and associated resources shall be reallocated to classified underground, classified protected birthing centers. A new Bill of Rights shall be drafted and approved by classified. Having now reviewed the bill, I ask you to please cast your votes.
This is the book of Luke, chapter 21, start off at verse 7. It says, "And they asked him, saying, Master, but when shall these things be? And what sign will there be when these things shall come to pass? And he said, Take heed that ye be not deceived, for many shall come in my name, saying, I am anointed. And the time draweth near. Go ye not therefore after them. But when ye shall hear of wars and commotions, be not terrified, for these things must first come to pass, but the end is not by and by. And then he said unto them, Nation shall rise against nation, and kingdom against kingdom, and great earthquakes shall be in divers places, and famines, and pestilences, and fearful sights, and great signs shall there be from heaven." Luke chapter 21, verse 7 to 11. Shalom. I want to start off by giving all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahasham Yahushai, Bahasham Racha Kodash. Double honors to our venerable apostles and elders at Great Millstone who rule well, and peace and blessings to the Lord's elect, the house of David. All right, so Brother Haran coming back at you with another lesson. Lord willing, be edifying and uplifting unto the elect. All right, this is going to be more of a follow-up. All right, especially being the times that we're in. Any information that we can get, to fulfill the prophecy, or really the commandment that the Lord gave us in Ezekiel 3:17. Okay, to give warning. Okay, so anything that we can get our hands on, all right, to warn the sheep is what we're going to do. Okay, now, this whole concept of this thing, this so-called endemic that's about to hit, called so-called disease X. All right, so it's kind of interesting because I've been meditating on it, because, we are in those times, you're trying to find any little thing that you can get to get an upper hand on these devils, because now they're coming out, right, just discussing their plans in plain sight, because they're being exposed. Okay, and that's one thing a devil does. Once he's exposed, hey, enough, come here. Once he's exposed, his next thing is to either accept it, so that way it's almost like he's cushioning the blow. He's cushioning the blow by coming out and just talking about it, just right in the open, but little do they know that we don't forget. Okay, the men of the Lord, we don't forget. All right, everything that's being said is being prophesied to happen. All right. And I wanted to go into this thing real fast that it's funny, I came across, all right, this was a couple of years ago. All right, and this is, it says H.R. 8791, and it was declassified, okay? And I believe a congressman, in the post edits, I'll put this in there, and we're going to tie it all in, all right? Congressman, I believe, something Haler, All right, and he had brought this out, but at that time it was all classified, but now they declassified it, and we got our hands on it. So let's read. It says, Congress shall now vote for approval of H.R. 8791, the Homeland Terrorism Preparedness Bill. Said bill requests emergency response funding up to and including $1 trillion to prepare for national level terrorist attack and or attack from unidentified beings. All right. Funding for first responder personnel and vehicles will be doubled if said attack leads to more than 80% of national population being affected by unidentified beings. This funding shall commence in conjunction to the first attack on the United States or the first large-scale outbreak of, they call it Virus X, but now we know it as Disease X. All right. And what I'm reading here was declassified, at least it was put out here 3 years ago. All right. It may have been longer than that, but from what I'm reading now, it's dated back 3 years ago. Okay. So let's read that again. It says, this funding shall commence in conjunction to the first attack on the United States or the first large-scale outbreak of Disease X, pending upon which comes first. Now, there was a video, I believe the other brother, Karatza from Vegas had put together. All right. And in the video, there was a so-called migrant. All right. Tall dude, looked like he's from the Middle East or something. And, the people were just kind of asking him like, yo, who are you and where are you coming from? And he's like, you don't know who I am. He said, don't worry about that, but soon you'll find out. That's what he said. And basically the guys in the thing, they did a video, they did some research and found out that this guy was let out, but he was in prison out in whatever country he was from. All right. And he's like a big time terrorist. He was caught for, setting up some BOMBs and stuff. He was getting ready to set shit off, and here it is. He's out here talking about, oh, you don't know me, but you soon you find out. You're gonna find out. All right. So here it is. They got this declassified thing, and they're talking about whether it's gonna be an attack or the outbreak of Disease X. All right. So I just put that out there just so you know that this whole border situation is all being done by design. Okay, it's almost to the point where they're mocking the American people, and they're just sitting there just letting it happen. Because remember, when so-called Trump was in power, what did he do? He built the so-called wall, and his one thing they had ICE. Remember that shit? ICE would be going around collecting people, sending them over, going back home and shit like that. That was happening when Trump was here, and that was just to let you know that when he comes back, this time it's not going to be ICE. It's going to be the military coming door to door, house to house, grabbing people up. And that's just how it's going to be. Okay? Because he built the border, a wall, and guess what happened? The next president comes in and does the complete opposite of that. So when he comes back, if and when he comes back, what do you think he's going to be doing? Look at the country. Look at the decay. Look at what's going on. The migrant crisis, this, that. Day one, you're going to see FEMA knocking on doors, grabbing people up. Rex 84 is going to come back into play. Okay, martial law will be activated here in American soil very soon. A lot of people don't even think like that, but that's going to happen. Okay, and they're preparing for it. Yo, they're preparing for it. All right. It says civilian and military units shall be trained in containment and combat of unidentified beings, including irradiated mutants with possibility of Disease X being airborne, or the possibility of flesh-eating hosts and / all the above. Wow. It says, in such event as domestic revolt on U.S. soil or spewing slash unidentified beings escape or released or otherwise become uncontrollable. Are you hearing this? Are you hearing this? Let's hear this. In such event as a domestic revolt on U.S. soil or spewing unidentified beings escape or released or otherwise become uncontrollable, Air Force units may also be directed to combat said beings due to their enormous size and their otherworldly strength. Hey, that's enough. Shut up. Shut that shit up. All right. It says, due to their enormous size and otherworldly strengths. So what do these devils have in store, ready to go, man? You know, what do they have ready to go? All right, whatever it is, it's gonna be some crazy shit. Hold on a second. All right. Continue. It says, should event occur in urban areas. Oh, wow, he said, you know, this is a quote. The guy said, Jesus. ... That's dangerous. Far surpassing our darkest nightmares. Should casualties exceed 100 million people, body disposal actions should be holded and associated resources shall be reallocated through sewage systems underground, FEMA-based protective birthing centers. That's where the Walmizzies come in, right? The Walmarts, the martial law centers, right? It says, a new Bill of Rights shall be drafted and approved by the elite of 10, whatever that means. Having now reviewed the bill, I asked that you cut blah, blah, blah. Okay, so that's something that's you know, I picked up on. I said, wait a minute, that shit. I remember they were saying something about X, and I remember reading it. I was like, man, you're just talking about some X shit. Like, that's gonna be mad funny. Imagine, you know. Now those imaginations are about to become a reality. All right, let's go back to Luke real quick. Luke 21 and 11, it says, and great earthquakes. All right, this is what Yahushua said, and great earthquakes shall be in diverse places, and famines and pestilences, and fearful sights, and great signs shall there be from heaven. Okay, so fearful sights is definitely going to be something that's not, you know, used to the American public, or at least the American public are not used to. It's all going to be some type of demonic, satanic shit. All right, that's what Babylon is pushing. You know, that's just the culture now. There's a statue. I forget what state it's in. All right, but this guy, Kid Cudi, all right, got a statue of himself, you know, all blacked out, you know, with red eyes, you know, and he's just like looking all like a demon. You know, so they're desensitizing people, all right, to that demonic, you know, look, that demonic way of thinking, the demonic way of living. The people are just becoming numb to it. You know, it's becoming like a style, that whole gothic look and all that stupid black shit. Those are all people that got demons on them, man. They dye their hair purple and black and all kinds of stupid shit. You know, they're always wearing black, lipstick black, long black nails. It's just like, yo, straight up witchcraft. You know, and the Lord's going to get every last one of them. Okay. Now, it's very interesting because there's another bill. Okay, and this is back in 2023. Okay, last year. It says HR 3832. And it says what? Disease X Act of 2023. All right. And it says, it says Disease X is not an actual disease. It is a placeholder name for a hypothetical disease capable of creating an epidemic in the future. The purpose of Disease X is to improve HUDAT's flexibility in response to such a previously unknown pathogen. So all the shit that this guy, Tedros, was saying, and Koshos has also been saying all the whole time with contact tracing and surveillance and all this extra shit they were making people do, they telling you that, oh, that's not enough. We're just getting started. We're now about to implement the things that we went over back in 2020. Here's a test, right? You went through the revision. Here's a test, right? And let's read about this House Resolution 3832, Disease Act of 2023. It says, this bill expands the priorities of the Biomedical Advanced Research and Development Authority, which is abbreviated as BARDA, right? They abbreviate everything. So let's wait for them to abbreviate MOTB, and let's let them tell us what that's gonna mean. All right. It says the Biomedical Advanced Research and Development Authority, BARDA, to specifically include viral threats that have the potential to cause an epidemic. Why are they so focused on that? The average person is not even thinking like that. So why are they thinking like that? Problem, reaction, solution, maybe. It says, in particular, the bill expands the scope of innovation, or the scope of innovation grants and contracts. Contracts. This is where the private sector comes in, right? Like, for example, this right here, what they're saying is the Pentagon, what they normally do is they send out contracts, right, to private companies. For example, Boston Dynamics, right? So Boston Dynamics will be contracted by the Pentagon through DARPA, okay? And then they come in and they say, this is what we have, this is what we want for the military, so and so, whatever. And they pay billions of dollars on this type of shit. You know, all that billions that they be sending to the military, all that every year, the yearly budget, and there's billions of dollars for the military. That's what it's going into. All right, research and development. Okay, through DARPA. All right, so they're building all kinds of crazy shit, all kinds of cyborg robots, you name it, they're doing it. All right, robots, soldiers that have limbs that regrow. You know, they mix in the DNA of the salamander, you know, and then they implant it into the DNA of the so-called soldier, and then eventually he's able to grow his limbs even when it gets shot off or cut off. You know, they're doing all kinds of crazy stuff out there. Now they can make people tall. The average person could pay for his length to be increased. His height, I should say. That's a length. Wow. You know, your height. Guy goes from 5'5" to 6'2". I'm like, hey, the fuck kind of shit? And this is for the average person to do. And that was a Jake, the video that I saw. So imagine what the military has. They got all kinds of shit. There's a movie that I saw some years ago. All right, and in that movie, the guy was doing that. He increased his height. You know, he took somebody else's identity, you know, just so he can go into like a mission or some space mission or some shit, you know. And then they were trying to find out. They had to do blood work every day. You know, every time they go into the facility, they had to test certain things. It's almost like digital identity. You know, everywhere you go, you got to identify who you are. It's like, damn. You know. And once they get to that point, it's going to be easy for them to actually get people to have that C-hip in their brains too. You know, once they take it in their hand, it's over. Their hand, their forehead, their hand, and their forehead. I mean, you know. So continuing, it says, in particular, the bill expands the scope of innovation grants and contracts, right? So going back to that Boston Dynamics stuff, they get the contracts, they come in, they start doing their research, they build a damn robot, send it overseas somewhere, Cambodia or some shit, and then they just start wilding out in the villages over there just to test to see if the fucking robot works. You know? It says contracts that may be awarded by BARDA to specifically include those that support research and development of certain manufacturing technology, you hear that? for medical countermeasures against viruses, including respiratory viruses with endemic potential. All right, and there's a company that's very known for these kind of things. All right, look it up. It's regeneration. All right, with the O-N at the end. It says it also expands BARDA's authorized strategic initiatives to include advanced research, development, and procurement of countermeasures and products to address viruses with endemic potential. You see? With endemic potential. So it's almost like the HR 8791, where it talks about the declassified bill. Okay, it's almost like they're preparing for HR 3832, which is the Disease Act of 2023. Okay, so who's behind all that? Who's setting the stage? Those who stand to benefit. Okay, cui bono. All right, let me see if I can pull this up. Let's see. There's another one, which is actually on the World Economic Forum's page. All right, but I'm not gonna go too much into it. I don't want to make the video too long, but hey, we could tackle that another day. All right, but I just want to make that connection. All right, that these devils have something definitely in the works. All right, and this so-called Disease X could really it could really be the one. That's why they're so happy about it. All right, that's why they're so happy about it. But at the end of the day, guess what? They don't have enough time. Okay, they don't have enough time. They'll go only as far as the Lord is going to give them the ability to go. Okay, and let's close it off with that. Let's end their night off with this. All right, it's the book of Job, chapter 20. All right, in verse 22, it says, "In the fullness of his sufficiency, he shall be in straits." So now you got Tedros coming out, complaining about, information, the information war. A lot of people are just, they're not listening to us no more. They're just going around listening to these conspiracies online and, misinformation and disinformation. It's like, who the hell are you? Why do you get to think that you could decide what's true and what's not? Huh? If what you're saying is true, why are you so worried that other people are listening to other things? Just say what you got to say and move on. Right? But they're putting in so much energy to stop the flow of information, because that's them telling you that you people are waking up, and we don't want that. You're slowing our plans down. The prophets are too effective. We need to find a way to stop them from talking. Okay, because all this, you got Cat Williams coming out talking all this, everything he said, we've been saying. All right, we say it all out, just straight up to your face. Boom, this is because we're not in that system. We're not in that world. So we see it from a different perspective, and we call them out. They all gonna be destroyed if they don't repent. All right, including Cat Williams, because he's seen the prophets teach before. He stood around, said peace, whatever. But you're not repenting, bro, because you're still in that system. You're still in that Hollywood world, the Hollyweird. You know what's going on, and you're still sticking around. All right, but here it says what? In the fullness of his sufficiency, he shall be in straits. Because now the people are waking up. This truth is going throughout the whole four corners of the earth. Now Jake is waking up, connecting the dots. All right, there's a shift in the attention. Everything is shifting straight to them, and everybody's picking up. Hey, yo, this is the Bible says this, and now everybody's talking about the Edomites. Oh my goodness, trouble. All right, every hand of the wicked. All right, of the wicked shall come upon him. And that word wicked, all right, I believe is a Hebrew word aimal, which is laborers. Okay, the so-called working class. All right, those are the ones who are being affected the most. Okay, because they manage these elites, so-called elites, manage to knock out the so-called middle class and knock them down to the level of the lower class. Okay, so now you have the upper class, which are the so-called elites, all right, on down. And then you got the regular people. Everybody's a so-called regular person now. You see? And that's why ultimately, when the missiles come down, it's not going to spare you. It's not going to spare nobody. It's not going to be on something like, oh, you know, you got money, so I'm not going. No. The missiles talk a different language. Okay? It talks a different language that you Americans don't understand. All right? That's why the warning is being sent out, but you're not repenting. All right? Continuing, Job 20 verse 23 says, when he is about to fill his belly, the Most High shall cast the fury of his wrath upon him and shall rain it upon him while he is eating. Okay, so he's still in the process of gathering his weapons for his next attack. Okay, so while he's in the midst of doing that, the Most High is about to what? Cast his fury upon him, his wrath upon him, because it's happening. Okay, it's happening. You go look what's going on in the Middle East. All right, so it's happening. It's happening. It's building, and it's building quick. All right, things are speeding up. The days are speeding up, man. Like we're literally almost about to be done with the month of January. You know, like the days are speeding. Like it's crazy. It's crazy. You know, you wake up. You know, yo, sun come up, the sun is already down. It's like, yo, the days are flying. You know, you look at the time, yo, it's 7 p.m. You look back, oh, it's 10 already. What happened? Damn. Yeah, time is flying, man. So the Lord is definitely shortening the days. Okay, and Him shortening the days is giving these devils, you know, the craziest nervous breakdown. You know, they're sweating, they're losing sleep. You know, a lot of them gaining weight. You know, they're growing out their beards all of a sudden because they're not shaving like that. They're depressed. You know, they're trying to blend it in with hate towards Jake, but they're very depressed. They see their kingdom going down. You know, verse 24 says, he shall flee from the iron weapon and the bow of steel shall strike him through. Okay, ultimately what? The nuclear missiles, all right, will come down and what? Destroy this place completely. Take this place out within 1 hour, man. All right, upon the command of Yahushua. Okay? So those are the days that we're waiting for, man. So this devil can go on with his Jesus and all this extra weirdo shit. Guess what? All right, the Lord is always going to have a spirit to combat that. Okay, because the Lord deals with balance. All right, the Lord of terror, Yahweh B'Ashem Yahushai, deals with balance. Okay? It tells you that in the book of Proverbs, the 11th chapter. All right, false balance is an abomination unto the Lord, but a just weight is his delight. All right, so everything is done, all right, with balance when it comes to Yahweh B'Ashem Yahushai. All right, and of course, in this truth, everything is balanced. So yes, the hell comes, but there's also going to be mercy. All right, having spiritual power is a form of the Lord showing us mercy, and really sealing the deal that yes, He's indeed working with us. All right, He tells you that and then shall they be known who are my chosen. Okay, so the Lord is definitely going to show out, you know, big time, man, especially in these last days. All right, we're not going to call upon the name of Yahweh B'Ashem Yahushai in vain, never. All right, that name carries all the power, and very soon the world will see it. All right, thy people shall be willing in the day of thy power. Psalm 110 and 3. All right, anyway, I'm going to end off there. Lord willing, you were edified and informed. I'd like to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Ba'ashem, Rachakudash, the Wadi Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai. And until next time, Shalom.
I want to be straight with you. There will be no return to the old normal for the foreseeable future. I repeat, there will be no return to the old normal for the foreseeable future.
So people assume we are just going back to the good old world which we had, and everything will be normal again in how we are used to normal, in the old fashion. This is, let's say, fiction. It will not happen.
A vaccine on its own will not end the pandemic. Surveillance will need to continue. People will still need to be tested, isolated, and cared for. Contacts will still need to be traced and quarantined.
And that's just the way it is. We've got to accept that this is the new world order.